Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're not just doing a standard story breakdown. Oh no, we are diving deep into a really dark, completely gripping cyberpunk allegory about nature finally striking back. We're exploring a brilliant narrative that pushes the absolute limits of human ambition and looks at the primal forces we so casually just build our cities on top of. I am so pumped to guide you through this, so let's jump right in.
So, what happens if the actual Earth we walk on decides to take revenge? I want you to keep that lingering question right in the back of your mind. We're skipping the usual agenda today because I really want to keep the suspense going. We are about to launch straight into the gleaming, hyper-advanced world of Neo-Nusantara. It's a place where humanity thought they had nature completely conquered. But as you're going to see, that illusion is about to shatter. Literally.
Okay, let's dive into this. Up top, we have the absolute pinnacle of human ego, Neo-Nusantara. Picture an 800-story skyline built from cold steel and concrete, just piercing the clouds. The whole megapolis is bathed in neon lights and these massive holographic ads. But directly beneath all that concrete, sleeping for millennia, is an ancient titan. It's this primal entity that the people above have completely forgotten about, just assuming the ground under their feet was, just dirt.
This brings us to part 1, Awakening Beneath the Neon. Picture this scene. The city is bustling. Flying cars are zipping between skyscrapers. And then, boom. A deafening crack of thunder echoes out, but there's literally not a single cloud in the sky. The vibration alone is so intense, it shatters the glass of these cyberpunk towers and scrambles the holographic ads. And right through the thick city smog, this colossal silhouette starts to rise.
So who is this? This is Gaea. She is not some alien, and she's definitely not a failed lab experiment. She's actually one of the last remaining Earth giants, and her scale is just terrifying. I mean, she towers as high as the Central District buildings. Her skin is literally made of the Earth's hardened crust. But the craziest part? Her veins are glowing with blue magma. Not red. Blue plasma. Why? Well, because she's spent centuries absorbing the radioactive waste humanity just blithely dumped into the Earth. Our toxic garbage is quite literally running through her veins. And the immediate impact is just absolute chaos. Corporate assets crumble in seconds. The military totally panics, firing off heavy proton lasers. But Gaea's Earth crust skin just absorbs the hits. Huge electromagnetic pulses radiate off her, instantly killing the anti-gravity systems of thousands of flying cars, sending them dropping to the cracked asphalt. All these citizens, decked out in their fancy futuristic cybernetics, totally powerless. The people who thought they were gods of technology are suddenly reduced to frantic ants scrambling around the feet of a real giant.
Which brings us to Section 2, the clash of nature and technology. Naturally, the city's government doesn't just throw in the towel. They send out their absolute heaviest military hardware to stop this unstoppable force of nature. But, spoiler alert, it is a completely futile fight. And this brilliantly illustrates the insane power gap here. First, the city drops in 3 massive bipedal Exo-Mechs. We're talking giant combat robots usually meant for asteroid mining. They land with a huge thud, aim their plasma cannons, and synthesize this warning. But Gaea? She just looks at them. She actually feels pity. To her, these are just toys made by arrogant kids. So with one effortless sweep of her giant hand, she unleashes a shockwave that just blasts 2 of the mechs straight into buildings. Then, as the last robot charges a massive laser, Gaea just casually stomps her foot. A seismic rift splits wide open, and the machine is instantly swallowed by the dark magma below. Just completely effortless.
Now for part 3, Message from the Depths. Here's where the pacing drastically slows down. Gaea doesn't go on some blind, raging rampage. Her movements become incredibly measured, incredibly calm. She completely ignores the panicked humans scurrying around down below and walks straight toward the heart of the city, aiming for her real target, the core tower.
This moment gives us a stark, really terrifying contrast. Inside the core tower, which is this giant reactor sucking energy from the Earth's core to fund humanity's luxury lifestyle, it's total panic. The advanced AI is flashing total extinction warnings, while the CEO watches in absolute terror. But outside the glass, Gaea is perfectly calm, ancient and measured. She doesn't just smash the tower, she simply places her giant, majestic hand flat against the bulletproof glass. It's this profound mirror to our real-world resource extraction, right? Nature isn't throwing a tantrum, it's just balancing the scales while humanity panics. By touching that tower, Gaea literally hijacks the whole city's digital network. Every massive holographic screen that usually pushes ads is overridden.
Instead, she projects her own ancient memories directly onto the city's skyline. She forces everyone to see this painful juxtaposition, the lush green forests and crystal-clear rivers the Earth used to be, right alongside the agonizing reality of today, the suffocating concrete, rivers of toxic chemicals, and the sheer pain of giant human drills piercing her chest.
And then she delivers her message, but not through the air or through their ears. She vibrates it directly into their souls. She says, "We gave you a place to stand, yet you repaid it with poison. We gave you warmth, yet you stripped it away until we froze. Today, Earth no longer gives. Today, Earth demands retribution." I mean, wow, it's haunting. It's the undeniable truth of a planet that has just been pushed way past its breaking point. Which brings us to the climax, Part 4, the end of human hubris. After delivering that soul-shaking message, Gaea finally takes action. But it isn't some fiery explosion. With just one slow, gentle squeeze of her colossal hand, she crushes the core tower. The reactor just dies, and instantly the entire Neon City is plunged into total, pitch-black darkness.
Now look at the aftermath here. Once the blackout hits, notice what Gaea does. She doesn't slaughter the citizens in the dark. No, she just peacefully steps back and melts away into the mountains on the outskirts of the city. She simply took back the energy that was stolen from her. This wasn't a blind massacre, it was a surgical reclamation of power. And that's exactly why this story matters so much for us today. It shows that nature doesn't have to be malicious to destroy us, it just has to stop giving.
So that leaves us with this final lingering question. No matter how advanced a civilization gets, aren't we all just hitchhiking on the back of a giant that could squirm and tear everything down at any moment? All our technology, the steel, the cybernetics, it literally means nothing if the ground we build it on decides it's had enough. It's a really profound thought on technological hubris to leave you with today. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I highly encourage you to keep exploring these ideas on your own. Until next time, keep learning and keep asking the big questions.